Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. We're going to see what you guys need to know right now. Keep in mind it's general. It could be past, present, or future. You will know best how this resonates for you, all right, where it fits on your timeline. So let's see what's going on. What's going on today in the collective? We have the Four of Wands and the Empress in reverse. And the Two of Swords, all right, 42, 24, and the Page of Wands at the bottom. So there's something here about a home, a union, all right, a community. The Empress in reverse, this is someone who's a toxic feminine energy, someone that's a taker. They're not nurturing. They're very needy, very controlling, possessive, all right. The Two of Swords, something is not clear here, or something can't be seen clearly. And also what I'm getting is like someone is not allowed, all right? Like maybe somebody is not allowed in your house, or you don't want someone coming over the house. You kind of block someone from coming to the house. A message about somebody not being allowed at the house, or something is not clear here about an Empress in the reverse. Let's see, Four of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is some sort of rejection, okay, or a blockage here, all right? So this could have something to do with you protecting yourself, you feeling like you need to stand up for yourself, protect yourself by rejecting something or someone, okay? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you don't want someone's investments, you don't want someone's money, you don't want someone's gifts, you don't want someone's offers, all right? What's the Empress reverse? The Ten of Swords. Yeah, you could be worried, or like I said, past. This could be past or present, okay? Just take it how it resonates, or the future for some of you. You could have been worried or be worried about somebody betraying you in a way. The Hanged Man, a moment of enlightenment here, okay? Or something is being suspended when it comes to working together with others, or finding a solution, or some sort of a collaboration, okay? What's the Two of Swords? The High Priestess, the Fool, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So, okay, so I kind of feel like, look, I got to be honest here, all right? Because what I'm getting is that just take it how it resonates, if this is you or for someone else. But what I'm getting here is that you might have at some point thought that you were listening to your intuition, or you were listening to your intuition, but still something wasn't clear. So it's kind of like, look, intuition is a tricky thing because you will feel that something is off, okay? You'll feel that something is wrong, or there's something deceptive, but you don't always see the whole picture, right? You can't see everything because you're not really seeing with your eyes, you're just feeling, all right? So you could have taken some action in the past, or you could have said some things in the past, all right? Maybe even coming from a place of, like the Knight of Swords in reverse can be, you know, you say a lot, but you can come off being very cold or very critical, very harsh, all right? Maybe even a bit mean, okay? Gotta be honest, mean maybe even. And it might have been because you couldn't see the whole picture. You couldn't see everything, all right? Your intuition was telling you something was wrong, but you couldn't see everything. So it could have made you react a bit quick sometimes, in a way where you might have come off a bit harsh to other people, right? you might have come off a bit harsh, because I feel like you couldn't see everything that was going on, but you knew that there was some level of deception or betrayal, but you didn't have the whole picture. But your intuition was still like, no, don't do this, don't go in that direction. But you didn't exactly know why, because you couldn't see the whole picture, because you weren't seeing with your eyes. You were just feeling your way through something. All right. So tell me more about this Knight of Cups reverse. The Three of Swords. Yeah. It could have been coming from a place of pain, right? Like heartbreak, pain, betrayal, feeling hurt. I feel like you didn't want someone's offer. You didn't want someone's love. You didn't want someone's affection. And it came from a place of hurt. You just didn't trust it. You didn't trust where it was coming from. You didn't trust their intentions behind something. And like, again, sometimes our intuition is alerting us to something, but when we don't see the whole picture, we don't know the whole truth, we can't really place where that feeling is coming from, right? But you were definitely defensive towards someone here with the Seven of Wands, yeah, towards the Empress. So I feel like this Empress is someone around you, or someone maybe even in your family. Okay, the Empress can be a maternal figure, a mother figure of some sorts. You were very defensive towards this person because you were hurt. You felt betrayed by them. With the Knight of Cups reverse, maybe you even felt like this person didn't truly love you. All right, they didn't truly care about you, right? The Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they could have wanted to give you a gift of some sorts, but you didn't want it. You said, no, I don't want it. I don't want this Page of Pentacles, all right? Because you didn't trust it. Yeah, this is the truth about that. And you want to know, look, over here, we have the Three of Pentacles. So, okay, so how should I say this? Look, if your intuition is telling you to stay away from a certain person or not to accept something from a certain person, and you can't even really see the whole truth, but you just feel something in the energy, it could be sometimes that, because the spirits can't talk to you, like can't talk to you in full sentences, right? They can only communicate to you with feelings, right? So you feel if something is off, you feel if something is dodgy, or, you know, something is a betrayal. So it could have been that you, in the past, you weren't actually being alerted to this Empress. You were being alerted to someone that the Empress was connected to. Okay? But since this Empress in the reverse, or this Empress was connected to a certain person that you should not be trusting, or that is deceptive or trying to betray you, you might have felt like you have to be defensive to them as well, because you couldn't see the whole truth. It's like, okay, so let me give an example here so that this makes sense, right? Because we have the Page of Pentacles here with the Ace of Pentacles. So let's say it's about money, right? Let's say there's someone here that wants to offer you some sort of money or some sort of help with money. Your intuition is telling you don't take the money, okay? Now, you might not have understood at that time why your inner radar was going off that way, all right? But it might have been, you might have thought that it was because of this Empress, when in reality it was someone that they were connected to, okay? So let's say they're connected to a shady person, all right? They're connected to a deceptive person here, some sort of collaborative effort, right? And maybe, okay, so maybe it wasn't that you weren't supposed to take money from the Empress, but you were not supposed to accept any kind of money from someone they were attached to. So the logic here behind this is kind of like, the logic of what I'm getting is some sort of a stress response coming up at the thought of money being... So the Empress wants to give you money, but the stress response coming from the fact that you don't know if this Empress is asking a third person to help with some sort of money, and that third person has some sort of dodgy finances, and you don't want that person sending you any kind of money. But you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know if this third person is doing shady things with money. You don't know what this Empress knows. You don't know how much this Empress is attached to a third person here. You don't know in how far they're collaborating on something. So it's kind of like, it's not that you're worried about the Empress's money. It's more like you're worried about this third person's money and how much this Empress is involved in the third person's money being shady, and you don't want to be involved in this third person sending money to you through the Empress. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting here. It's like, let's say, okay, let's say you need some money. Empress offers you money. Empress is attached to a person that would have that money. You're not sure if Empress has that money, but you don't want the Empress taking money from third shady person to send you that money. You get what I'm saying? It's like you're not sure about something. You can't see something, but your intuition is telling you no. Because you don't want a third person that the Empress is attached to sending you some sort of money that you can't trust. You don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know if you can trust this Empress either. But this is more about you defending yourself here, blocking someone off, saying no to someone. And it's not like in this reading, it's not because of the Empress as much as it's who they're attached to. Like, let's say Empress lives with a third person. They live with their husband, they live with their uncle, they live with another person in the house, a sister, whatever, another person they're close to. You don't know what's going on in that house. You don't know what they're talking about. I feel like I'm over-explaining myself, but I hope that you get what I'm saying. It's almost like you know that the third person is shady and they have a shady plan, and you don't want the Empress to be used as a bridge to get to you. If that makes sense, all right? So I'm just going to leave it there because I'm kind of over-explaining. What's the Ten of Swords? The Eight of Cups in reverse, not being able to walk away from something, not being able to leave something behind. The Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, something corrupt, something illegal, something shady, something that goes against like morals or values of some sorts, all right? And tell me more about that. A community and change. Yeah, it's like worried about who they're attached to. And it's kind of like, it's kind of giving me like, whoever, you've separated yourself from this third person. And you're also at the same time worried that they're going to try and get to you through the Empress. So everything that the Empress comes towards you with, you're immediately put off by it because you don't know if the Empress is in on it or if the Empress is just being used as like a naive, gullible pawn. But either which way, it's like, no, I don't want anything out of that direction as long as that third person is around. That's manipulative. But there's a community here that thought they could change something. So what's that? A Queen of Wands. A Queen of Wands. Thought that they could switch something around here and move something forward. A Queen of Wands thought they could switch something around and then move it forward. What is this Queen of Wands trying to switch around? Something with a relationship. A Queen of Wands is trying to switch something around with a relationship. What does that mean? A self-absorbed narcissist in the reverse. That somebody is not a self-absorbed narcissist. A Queen of Wands tried to move something forward and switch something around with a relationship, but somebody is not a self-absorbed narcissist. The chaser, somebody being a chaser in a codependent relationship, having a fear of abandonment. This has to do with somebody chasing after someone because of a fear of abandonment. Huh? Talking, text, calls, emails. Again, the same energy. Conversations, text, calls, emails, talking about somebody chasing after someone, having a conversation. A Queen of Wands trying to switch something around in a relationship. What does that have to do with an Empress? What does that have to do with this? Because again, this is giving me the first reading I did today. It has to do with some sort of magic or some sort of creation or something they decided to create because of somebody not seeing something clearly. What is somebody not seeing clearly here? Something about a group of people or a third person. They decided to create something here and switch something around with a relationship because they couldn't see clearly that, okay, so look, in some sort of text, calls, and emails, you come across like you're attacking the Empress. But these people, they don't understand where you're coming from with that argument. It's like they don't understand that for you, it's the core issue is like the third person involved here. But because they're only reading text, calls, and emails, and this seems like, again, this hacking, this stalking kind of energy of them reading your conversations, listening to your conversations, they're only seeing like bits and pieces of this relationship dynamic that you have going on and your deeper feelings towards something. So they don't understand that for you, it's because of a third person. I mean, is that what this is? The six, something about giving money to someone, receiving money from someone. The Four of Swords, yeah, something about money, getting money from someone really stressing you out or giving you some sort of a stress response. Okay, like the thought of somebody giving you money, sending you money, giving you something, it created a stress response in you with the Four of Swords in reverse. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. The Devil, yeah, because you don't know what's attached to it. It really freaked you out that there's something that might be attached to it or attached to the money, or that you don't trust someone's intentions, or you feel like somebody has bad intentions or something like that. What's a Devil? A mature man. Yeah, that's it. So we have an Empress and then we have a mature man. So this might be the third person that you did not trust at all. Okay, Devil energy. You're like, no, that person is evil. That person has bad intentions. I don't trust them. They're capable of doing heinous, evil things, all right? And just the thought of this person being involved in sending you money through the Empress, it might have caused a severe kind of a response from you. Because you don't know where the money is coming from. Look, if it's like the Empress like, hey, I'll send you money, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know if it's really coming from the Empress or if it's coming from this person, a mature man and the devil. It's like, I don't know if it's coming from that person. I don't want this. I don't want their money. I don't want their devil money, their blood money, their scam fraud money. I don't want that person's money. Poverty. Yeah, you were like, I'd rather be in poverty. I'd rather be in poverty than take that person's money, all right? So you might have chosen to go through a really hard time because you didn't trust someone's money, okay? Or where it was coming from, or who was involved in it, or something like that. You're like, no, I'd rather be broke than take that person's money, all right? Because your intuition was like, I feel like your intuition was firing off, all right? It was definitely firing off, but you couldn't exactly place why or where it was coming from. It was just a no, okay? So what does that have to do with a Queen of Wands and somebody flipping something around with a relationship? The Temperance and the Ten of Wands, yeah, you decided to take on this burden, all right? You decided to, it's kind of giving me like you asked God for help, right? So you knew this was going to be hard. You knew this was going to be a burden. You knew it was going to be really hard to get through, but in that time, you asked God for help. You asked God for direction or your angels for direction or to guide the way forward to help you carry this burden. Because you knew that you couldn't take money from a specific person, or you didn't want to take money from some people here, all right? A King of Pentacles in reverse, King of Swords in reverse. Who are these two people now? This is something that they weren't expecting. A main female, somebody wasn't expecting this. Thoughts, they weren't expecting this from you. A mature woman, a main female and a mature woman. A King of Swords in reverse, a King of Pentacles in reverse, weren't expecting this or weren't expecting something. What were they not expecting? That you would be so defensive, that you would say no, that you would fight your way through it, that you would fight your way through something here and be defensive. The Three of Wands, that you would never give up, that you would keep looking forward, you wouldn't give up, you would keep fighting, even though something was a failure, even though you were losing a lot of money or you had to cut your losses or something wasn't working out. Unemployment, the Five of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, something about you defending yourself and saying no. And this has to do with sadness, being sad, being upset and grieving, feeling hopeless, but standing up for yourself and fighting through something, putting up a boundary. Yeah, you said, no, I don't want to work together with someone else. I don't want this. I don't want your help because I don't want any kind of connection to this third person that you're involved with. I don't want any kind of help from you or this third person. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay away from me. Stay away from my money. I don't trust you and I don't trust your money, okay? And that has to do with a message. Yeah, text, calls, and emails. Something about messages or you communicating this. Marriage. Yeah, maybe it's someone that they're married to. Right? So you don't want to have anything from this Empress because of the person that they're married to. You don't trust them. You don't trust their husband, okay? Maybe. The mature man devil. Yeah, that evil demonic devil. You don't trust that person at all. So, why is the Two of Swords here? The Chariot in reverse. Something about not moving forward, feeling demotivated, losing control. The Eight of Pentacles. Something not moving forward with work, with a job, with a career. The Nine of Wands, because of you being defensive. Something couldn't move forward with a plan because you were being defensive. What is that about? The King of Wands. The King of Wands, okay? The World. Closing out a cycle, Ace of Wands, taking some sort of action here to end something, to close out a cycle. The Four of Swords, yeah, you were at peace with the fact that you would lose your stability. You were at peace with it. You knew what was coming. You knew that you would lose a sense of security and a sense of stability. You knew that, and you were totally at peace with that decision as well. Okay, so you made the choice to close out a cycle here and work towards something, and you knew that you were going to lose a lot of money, but you were at peace with that. And you decided to keep fighting through something here on your own. The Five of Swords. The Hierophant. Some sort of sabotage, all right? Manipulation here or somebody that they're married to, all right? You don't trust somebody's marriage, or you think that they're manipulative, all right? You don't trust someone's title. You don't, what is that about? Imprisonment. Yeah, imprisonment. Yeah, you could have felt like someone's husband here, or somebody's who they're married to, or whoever this third person is connected to the Empress. You felt like they were shady, their money is shady, they might end up in prison, all right? Because who the fuck knows what they're getting into. And if this person offers you any money or tries offering you money through a third person, hell no. You don't know what they're involved in. You don't know what kind of scams they run. False person, exactly. And you know that this person is a false person. You know that they're a false person. You know that they're doing shady shit. Don't take any money from a corrupt criminal, a con artist, scam artist, where you don't know how they make their money. You don't know what they're doing with their business. You don't know how many scams they're running, especially someone that's fucked you over in the past. Why would you take money from someone that has fucked you over in the past? Hell no. You can't trust them. And if they're connected to an Empress, and the Empress wants to help you, you know, that might be setting off some alarms for you as well, because you don't want someone, this devil here, getting involved and saying, oh, honey, don't worry. You don't have to send collective money. I'll send them the money. And then you don't even know where it's coming from. Hell no, definitely not. All right. So anything else? The Queen of Wands. Why is this person here again? How are they involved? This Queen of Wands is involved because of an Emperor. Who's this Queen of Wands? And why is she showing up here with this, somebody chasing after someone and a relationship? I mean, this feels unrelated. Because of a mature man. Because of a mature man. a mature man standing behind the Queen of Wands with the Ace of Cups in the middle. Yeah, it's always like these shady masculines. Sorry to put it that way, but in this reading, that's what it is. It's the married people, or it's their husbands. It's the shady. Look, if the Queen of Wands is not a narcissist, the person that they're married to is. Bad health. This is about something with intuition. Okay? Because sometimes your intuition might go off with people that aren't actually doing something wrong. Okay, I got to be honest. This Queen of Wands, this Empress, they might have had good intentions, but your intuition might fire off on you because of who they're connected to. It's not necessarily them. It's not necessarily the Queen of Wands or the Empress that mean you harm or want to harm you or want to do something to you. But if they're connected or married to men that are malicious, that want to give you some sort of a, bad health, it doesn't even have to be a husband, but if they're connected to someone else that has ill intention or that wants to do something to you, your intuition will block them because of who they're connected to, if that makes sense. Like, let's take an example here, this Ace of Cups. Let's say this is an offer, right? Let's say somebody tries giving you, this is a neighbor, all right? Let's say a neighbor, it's the summertime and they reach across the fence and they want to give you a cup of lemonade because it's a hot day. Your intuition might go off and say, no, don't take anything from them. So you might walk away from that going, that lady, I cannot trust that lady. There's something wrong with that lady. Your intuition is actually not, maybe in this case, firing off because of the lady, but because of the man that also lives with them that slipped something in the lemonade when this person wasn't looking. So your intuition is like, no, don't take this. And you're interpreting as you can't trust this person, when in reality, there's someone behind the Queen of Wands that your intuition is alerting you to. But since you can't see it with your eyes and you can only feel it, all you're feeling is a dark energy around this. All you're seeing is this person bringing it to you, but you can't discern or understand that it's actually a third person behind it that you shouldn't trust. It's like, you want to know how these snakes do it? You want to know how the real nasty, deceptive snakes do it? Is they don't come themselves. They send someone forward that they feel like is unsuspecting and innocent. These are people they hide behind their wives. They hide behind their sisters or friends or mothers, or even if it's other men. I don't know. Just take it how it resonates. We have the Queen of Wands here twice, all right? And then mature man and Empress keeps coming out. So if this person wants to do something to you, they're not gonna just come up to you and do it. It's almost like they're gonna send this unsuspecting person forward that they feel like is innocent so that you won't suspect something is wrong. But Spirit does. Spirit does suspect that something is wrong. Spirit does know that this person, mature man, devil, is up to something evil, even if they're trying to send someone else forward, which would be the Empress or the Queen of Wands, and they're trying to make it look all nice. Your intuition is saying, no, don't take this. And all of a sudden, you're then thinking that there's something wrong with Queen of Wands, Empress, but it's the third person involved. I hope you get what I'm saying. They're cowards. They like to hide behind people that they feel like are innocent and unsuspecting, to do the dirty work for them. Yeah. The Ten of Swords in reverse. The Seven of Wands. Yeah, you blocking something because you don't trust something and you're defensive towards someone or something to avoid a painful betrayal here, or you don't want to be betrayed. It's like you're blocking people off, or you're being very defensive towards certain people because you don't want to be betrayed. And again, it's like, it's not always the person that is coming towards you with the offer. Sometimes, like I said, there's somebody around them that's dangerous, that spirit is like, nope, as long as you are connected to this dangerous person, you're also blocked, all right? Because there can't be any foot in the door open to get to you if they have malicious intent. The Queen of Cups, yeah, it's these two women. It's a Queen of Cups, a Queen of Wands, the Empress, okay? The Four of Wands, and the Knight of Wands, taking action towards a home, towards a house, trying to give something to you, okay? Yeah, it's something about these two people trying to give something to you, whether it be a gift, whether it be money, whether it be food, whether it be presents, whatever it is. If your intuition says no, then it's no, but it maybe isn't the person. It could be someone else they're attached to, if that makes sense. The Ten of Pentacles. And this has to do with somebody wanting victory and success with an inheritance or a lot of money, or somebody wanting victory and success with a lot of money, with a job, with money, with an inheritance, with family wealth. Yeah, money. The Three of Swords in reverse. Something here was not intended to hurt you. Some sort of an offer, some sort of money, some sort of gift. It wasn't going to hurt you. It wasn't intended to hurt you. But you couldn't see it clearly. But there was something that you couldn't see clearly about somebody's deception, or somebody doing something deceptive or manipulative. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a message about somebody being nice to you, or somebody being generous to you, wanting to help you, all right? Yeah, I feel like this is a message about using discernment, right? Or thinking, you know, it's not that your intuition is off with certain things, but it's like intuition is very subtle, and we can't always understand why we feel some sort of defensive energy coming up, right? So you might block people off that actually don't mean you any harm, but it's because there's other people behind it that you can't see, right? It's kind of like that energy, like you want to go on a walk, right? But your intuition tells you not to go on the walk. And it's not because the walk itself is dangerous, but maybe on that day, on that walk, there's a tree that snaps and falls over, and it's like your intuition isn't protecting you from the walk or the hike or the trail. It's protecting you from the tree that you can't see, because it's not, so you get what I'm saying? Your intuition is just telling you don't go on the walk. So you think there's something wrong with the walk or the trail, but that's not what it is. It's actually something completely different that you can't see coming. And that's this energy. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, closing words here. The Six of Swords in reverse. This has to do with a King of Wands again at the bottom. Somebody not being able to get away with something here, trying to get a burden off their back, trying to release a burden. Somebody rejecting something. The Lovers and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Something about being lazy, not hardworking, something is not mastered, something about this is not your job, not working, unemployment, something about lovers, a relationship. It's like, because you knew that there was someone around that couldn't get away with something. You knew that there was someone around that couldn't get away with something, and they were looking for a way to get a burden off of their back here. Okay, you knew that there was someone that couldn't get away with something. The Hermit. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, it has to do with something like going within and thinking about the Queen of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Temperance. Yeah, I feel like this message connects because I've gotten this energy before of these two women with two separate families that are like mirroring each other in a way. And it has something to do with their husbands. I don't know. But it's almost like these two women are it's not similar. Like, I don't feel like their situations are similar, but I feel like there's parallels. And I feel like what else is like mirroring each other, or there's a parallel here, is the way that you reacted to these two women, if you know them both. It's like your reaction might have been the same or similar. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, being charmed or used by a narcissist. Because I feel like, look, what's mirroring here with both of these women is that both of them are like empaths, or, I mean, I don't know if they have maybe narcissistic tendencies sometimes, all right, but let's just leave that out of the picture. Both of them are girls with snakes wrapped around them. Let's put it that way. Both are being charmed and used by narcissists in their life. So the mature man, the devil, is the snake. So I feel like both of them must have partners or husbands that are like snakes, narcissistic snakes wrapped around them that charm them and use them. And if your intuition is firing off with these two women, okay, in your life, and you don't really understand why, and you might just be closed off to them, just think about the fact that maybe, and this, like, just take it if it resonates, guys, all right? Like, this should be clear about the situation. If you're like, no, this person is evil, then this is not your reading, all right? Then it's not who I'm talking about then in this reading, all right? In this reading, these women are innocent, but their men, or who they're married to or connected to, they are the narcissistic users that use these women as like the pawns or as like the human shields. And if your intuition is going off against them, it's most likely not the women, it's the men that they're attached to that are dangerous and that you need to be aware of. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this helps, okay? Thank you for watching. Until next time, guys. Bye.